Alright, we're headed to Scotty's Gunworks, where he's going to do his very first question and answer session. So I can't wait, neither can you, so let's get to it.
Where am I hitting on? I think I missed that last.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a couple questions that everybody's been wanting to know.
All right, I'm ready to answer them.
All right, number one, obviously, how long have you been gunsmithing?
Well, I guess I started when I was a kid, back in the 70s, I guess. It's been quite a way.
That's going to show your age.
Yeah, I know, but I guess professionally, I've been doing it probably for, I'd say about close to 30 years.
30 years?
Close to it, yeah.
Holy cow. So you've been doing this a long time?
Yeah, a long time. You know, pretty much been down here in this basement the whole time. So.
Wow, in the same place?
Same place, yep.
Wow, and where did you learn how to do this?
Well, kind of learned it just from different people. Herschel Gallagher, I don't know if anybody knows who he is, but he was a gunsmith in Ashland City for years, and he's finally passed away. He was probably about 95 years old when he passed away. And Richard Binkley, Dick Binkley, custom gunsmithing, you know, he taught me a lot. You know, just picked it up here and there. I think it's just something I just kind of naturally, you know, picked up as I was growing up, because I'm kind of mechanically inclined, I guess. Dad's a diesel mechanic, you know, and just kind of picked it up, you know, doing things like that. And I've just always liked guns. Always kind of fooled around with them when I was growing up. I never really thought there was any such thing as a gunsmith, you know. I thought that just kind of went away back in the 1800s, and then I learned that you could actually make money, you know, working on them. So it just kind of grew from there.
Wow. All right. What is the most expensive item you have worked on? What was it? How much was it worth?
Well, just different things. I've worked on, I guess the most expensive, and I don't know how expensive it was Chuck Connor's, the gun he used in the Rifleman series.
Wow, Chuck Connor, that goes back, that series goes back a while.
And of course, you know, he was already passed away when I started worked on it, you know, but this was one of the guns they'd used, the way I understood it. It was a model 92 Winchester, 4440, I believe it was.
Holy cow.
Yeah, anyway, his real son, and the guy that played in the band Highway 101, and his name was Jack Daniels.
Jack Daniels.
Yeah, anyway, he played the guitar in that band. Anyway, they brought it down. I think the stock was cracked on it, so I fixed the stock on it, and I made a plaque for it. And as far as the expense, how much it was worth, I really don't know. But I know it was just one of them situations where it was kind of irreplaceable because of what kind of gun it was. And I think it was like 4 of those guns they used in the series, and I believe that was one of them. And I think 2 of them was made out of rubber.
So the gun you worked on for him was actually used in one of the TV series?
The way I understood it, it was, yeah. And I've got autographed pictures, and I've seen documentations on it, you know. So.
Wow. Yeah, I remember watching The Rifleman as a kid. My dad used to watch it, and I used to watch it with him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping I can work on one of the guns that was in Gunsmoke, you know.
Wow, that would be really cool.
That would be nice. I'd like to get an autographed picture, you know, of Matt Dillon or something.
Or Festus or something.
Yeah.
All right. What project gave you the most problems or complications?
Well, all of them did at first. You know, it's kind of one of those trial by error things, you know. I guess the most projects that give me the most stress would be the jobs where I'm taking a gun that's probably worth $1,000, we'll say, and I'm drilling holes in it, you know, to put a scope on it or something. That is a real stressful situation. You'll get close to the Lord real quick doing that kind of work. But, I mean, you know, after you do a lot of them, you know, you start gaining confidence. So I'd say probably those custom jobs, you know, when you're drilling holes or cutting dovetails, you know, things like that. Of course, I've got, you know, and we'll take a little tour of the shop here in a little bit of the different tools and setup I've got, you know, to kind of puts the odds on my side, I guess.
All right. So here comes one, because we've done a lot of videos with you of this. What are some important things to remember when bluing?
Well, the main thing with the bluing is just kind of watching your temperature, and you know, make sure you keep your temperature where it needs to be. And different metals, you know, you can raise the temperature, but that's the main thing, is watching your temperature and cooling it down with water. And mainly just don't get it on you, you know, because it's about 300 degrees, and of course it won't do you no good if you got that on you.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
All right, what are some of the tools you use on a daily basis?
Well, it just really depends on what project I'm using or I'm working on. In most cases, I might use the polishing wheel, you know, if I'm getting ready to blue. And of course I'm prepping each gun, you know, everything is custom polished. And I might be on that polishing wheel for days, you know. So I'll be using that all day long, you know, and it's back in the polishing room, you know, and everybody's familiar with that. Just really depends on what I'm doing. A lot of times I'll be in the woodworking area back there, and I might take 2 or 3 days, you know, just doing nothing but sanding stops, you know, aqua glassing them, you know, and blending everything in. So it just really depends. And since I do mostly bluing work and things like that, I'd say the polishing wheel is what I'm mostly stuck at.
But off camera, he told me the screwdriver.
Yeah, the screwdriver, you know, you gotta disassemble all these guns, so, you know, you gotta have a good set of screwdrivers.
All right, what project are you most proud of?
Well, I guess the best projects is the ones, and there ain't no really one particular project. It's just when I get that old family heirloom, it's been in the closet for 30 years, and customer sends it down here, you know, and it's all rusted up, and I make it look like a brand new one, you know, and then they see that, well, there ain't no words to put that into, there ain't no way to put that into words, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I mean, they just really are, you know, proud of it and just really happy, you know, and it honors that family member, you know, that I done the work for, you know, because it was their gun, you know, and they done passed on. So it's just a series of just different things, I guess.
So you love to see the expression on their face, like
I do, and then when I send one back to another to a customer out of state or something, you know, they'll call me, you know, and tell me how good it looked, you know. So that's what I really, you know, strive for, you know, is just making it look like I'd want to receive it, you know, to honor that family member, you know, that had it.
That's awesome. What brand name or kind has given you the least amount of problems when customizing?
I would say the 1911, believe it or not, the 1911 pistol. As far as polishing, you know, it's mostly just flat surfaces, you know, so you can really make that look good, you know, without a bunch of going around curves and stuff, you know, and it's a pretty simple layout in there, and there's just so many different things you can do with one of those.
Well, and it's a very, very common one to...
Yeah, everybody likes a 1911.
All right, and what advice would you give to someone watching your videos who wants to learn to be a gunsmith?
Well, I'd say just kind of figure out what they like doing first, you know, and if you got a mechanically inclined mind, I guess, kind of an artistic kind of way, you know, where you can, you know, draw or whatever, you know, you can incorporate that into customizing or whatever you might want to do. Just basically, just don't get no hurry when you're starting out, you know. Try to learn from people who's been doing it for years, and that's kind of one of the purposes of this video here, you know, because I'm always learning every day. And don't ever think that you've done learn everything, because you know, at that point you need to quit, I guess. But I would say just try to seek advice from people who already has been doing it, and just keep building up your inventory of knowledge, you know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I guess that's what I would have to say, you know. It's just basically, you know, when I first started doing this right here, I just kind of, you know, phased into it, I guess. I guess the best way to describe it, my way of thinking in my younger days was I thought everybody had a gun shop in the basement. You know, so it's just something I always liked doing, and really pleased and blessed to be able to do it. So.
All right, I have a question for you.
Sure.
This was not one of the ones, so he's not prepared for this. It's maybe a simple question for you. If I had $1 bazillion and I said money is no option, you can buy any gun on the face of this planet with this money I'm going to give you, free of no strings attached, what would it be? What would you buy with it?
Well,
for your
personal collection?
For your everyday carry, let's say, that would be for you.
Of course, I carry a 1911, you know. I don't know, I just like all kind of guns. I mean, just different ones, you know. I like that Thompson. You know, the Thompson.
Like the old Tommy guns,
Yeah,
the old
Tommy
gangster.
gun. Exactly. You know, I like them. Of course, I've got one of those. You know, but I wouldn't mind getting another one. You know, now the Barrett 50 caliber. Now that's a good one to have. You know, of course, most of the guns I've got, I don't ever shoot. They just sit in the safe. You know, but you know, I just enjoy having them around. You know, consider it a blessing. You know, to have them, and you know. That's pretty much it, I guess. I guess just no certain ones, just different ones. Now I do like the older guns though, like
Yeah,
Smith and Wessons.
I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on that one.
Pythons. You know, a whole lot better than I like the newer ones.
I would probably go, like you say, with the old Colt combat commander type.
Yeah, things like that. I like the most Smith and Wessons. Like I said, if I had $1 gazillion, I'd probably buy up all them I could. You know, the old Colts, the old Smith and Wessons. You know, things like that.
Like one of the old police specials back in the 60s
Yeah,
or
police
something.
positives, official police, yeah.
Well, all right. Well, that concludes our question and answers. We'll take a look around the shop, and he's going to show you the. Well, that rings a bell. All right, he mentioned working on a rifle for the Rifleman, and here it is on the wall. We'll go ahead and let you explain what it is we're looking at.
Yeah, well, his son, this little picture right here, I guess everybody can see it. That's his son right there, his real son. And then that's the guy that played in the band Highway 101. And that's Jeff Connors, and that's Jack Daniels. Of course, that's me. And there it is. And he brought some documentation down and everything. That's how come I know it's official. And I don't know if you see real good or not. But anyway, I made a plaque for it. And, of course, there's a picture of me holding it, you know. And, you know, just some autographed pictures there. Chuck Connors. That, of course, though I think his son autographed this picture right here. Of course, that's Chuck's signature.
Wow.
Of course, Jeff Connors had a band there, you know, and he brought me that, you know, and they autographed that. So, and of course, everybody knows 22 Plinkster. Do quite a few transfers for him, you know, and a little bit of work, and Hickok 45, and of course everybody knows Ted Nugent.
You've done stuff for the news?
Well, not really. He sent me that picture there, you know, and everything, you know, so I hung it up there. So, anyway, just things like that, you know. And I think a long time ago I did do some work for Sammy Kershaw.
Oh, wow.
Know. But now he didn't come down here in person. Somebody that worked for him. I think it was Chris Robinson, I believe it was. But anyway, he worked for him, I think, and he brought the gun down. I think it was a Browning A5, I believe.
Wow,
Best
Sammy Kershaw.
Yeah.
Wow.
He said it was Sammy Kershaw's.
Well, we'll go with that then.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay, so anyway.
That's really cool. All right, we've asked you questions about it. Now let's see what it is. For instance, this right here.
Yeah, this right here, as a matter of fact, I just made a video. I don't know, or some folks probably didn't see it, but basically what this right here is, it's a bolt jeweling machine. And basically what it does, you just put like a bolt off a bolt action rifle.
Right.
And this little setup right here, and that puts the little jeweling on it. And
Yep.
I've got other attachments to it where I could jewel hammers, you know, various things with it. And it's dedicated for nothing but bolt jeweling.
Wow.
Now you can use a drill press, and I used to use a drill press in the early days. As a matter of fact, I think we even got a video where I'm using the drill press. But it goes back to the person who wants to be a gunsmith, you know. It's better to have different machines dedicated to do different things. And that way you keep your overhead down, your setup time down, you know.
So here comes the question.
Uh-huh.
Since you have this one, and you said you've done some on a drill press,
Right, uh-huh.
does this save you a lot more time?
It does setup time because this is already set up and dedicated for nothing but bolt jeweling. And if you know, I'm using the drill press there, you know, I might have it set up for the bolt jeweling. Then I may need to drill a scope or something, you know, a rifle for a scope. Then I got to pull all that off there, you know, and then I got to set the vise and all that up
And
on there.
retool it.
Right, exactly, uh-huh. And if you'll notice on the drill press there behind you, that's what
Right.
I used to use. And if you'll notice, it's got this contraption here set up on it, which is a Foster. It's a Foster drilling jig, and basically what you do is you just put your rifle in here, and it puts the odds on your side. And it sits up in here, you know, and it makes sure that it drills precision holes, you know. And then you can put your tap in there, and it taps them. And you can get these from Brownells. And I got this one from Brownells years ago, and I set it up on this piece of steel here, and it's fully adjustable. And of course, this machine here now is just dedicated for drilling and tapping for sights on shotguns, drilling for scopes on rifles, just different things. And it's fully set up just for that. And then I've got a another drill press in the back there that's just used for general drilling.
And that's this one here.
Yes, sir, And please excuse the mess in here, because I have got a mess, and I need to get in here and get this place more organized. But when you're working, you know, like I do, you know, you go from one project to the next, and I do need to take a day or two off to get this place back in order, because I have got stuff laid everywhere.
Alright, so now we're in the bluing room.
Yeah, the old famous bluing room. I got a couple of videos I think made where I'm actually, you know, doing work in the bluing room, explaining things. Right now it's not in action, as you can see. You got the cover over the tank here, the bluing tank. 909 and everything's covered up, and of course I hadn't got no guns on the oil tank rack here. Here in the next couple of weeks, so it'll be back operational. I'll have it. I'll be ready to do some bluing, and we'll go back there in the back, and I'll kind of go over my routine as far as, you know, getting guns ready to polish and, you know, things like that. But yeah, it just sits in here, you know, waiting.
There we go, trying to get it all in here. Alright, so where are we at now?
Well, right now we're in the office. This is the brains of the operation. And basically what it all boils down to, you know, is just guns. You know, when I get them finished, I just bring them in here and I get them ready, you know, to ship out, or get them ready for the customer to come pick up. Got some right here, as a matter of fact. All these right here are handguns, and I got oil on them, you know, that's been blued.
Oh, that's nice.
These are Colts. Got some Smith & Wessons, just different ones here, you know, and that way when the customer comes in, I can just get his box and take it in
right
there,
out.
you know, yeah. So, you know, that's another thing. It goes back to the guy that wants to be the gunsmith, you know, organization, you know. So you really want to stay organized, where you'll know where all your parts are, and especially when you take a gun down, and we'll go over that in a minute, in there in the polishing room. So when I take one down, I'll show everybody. I think I've showed them in past videos, but we'll go over it again, you know. That'll help the person stay organized, you know, and it works really good for me, so it should work. So.
Alright, so what are we looking at now?
Well, right here, these are guns that I've took down, and I'm getting ready to polish them for bluing. And what it all boils down to, I'll show you right here on this one right here.
So you have to polish them before you blue them.
Right, exactly. And what you want to do is, each one of these baskets right here is a firearm. All the parts to this gun is in this one basket right here. And I got me a little clipboard in there, you know, with the information on each gun. That's rack 9 right there. And I got a little basket here with all the screws and stuff in there. That's how come, it ain't because I'm a big genius or anything and got a memory, like a photographic memory. It's because I just got everything in here, and I know when it's blued, I'll take it in there, take everything off its basket, and all my parts are there, you know.
So you know what customer goes
right,
with basket 9.
Exactly, yeah. And everything, you know, is in here. And of course, I just store it in here, and then I'll take them out of there one at a time and take them in there in the polishing room, and I'll polish everything down. And then I'll put this, what they call hold. It's a tank of it right here. I'll just take and spray that on there after it's all polished down and in the white. And then I'll set it back up here. And then I'll close this door right here, and that basically makes sure there ain't no moisture gonna get to nothing. And that way, when bluing day comes, it might be a week, it might be 2 weeks, it might be a month. I ain't got to worry about
any contamination. Yeah.
So that's kind of what I do here. I built this box and everything, you know, and that's about 3 gallons of hold, and you get that from Brownells as well. And you know, just basically you want to make sure you keep everything in its own basket.
All right, easy enough. So where are we at now?
Well, now we're in the polishing room. And basically when this place is in service, I got that fan going there, and you can see by all the dirt and dust on it how, you know, it really gets dusty in here. And basically I'll take one of those baskets in there, and I'll bring it in here, and I'll set it right in here. Okay, I got it in this tray right here where I won't lose anything. And I'll pull one part off at a time, and I'll polish it appropriately. If they want a high polish on it, you know, we put a high polish on it to be like a real high mirror shine. If they want a standard finish, you know, just depends on what the customer wants. I got a series of wheels there, and I believe in other videos I've got where I'm actually, you know, showing myself working in here, you know.
So you're telling me that, let's say a 1911, since that's your favorite.
Yeah.
That when you take a 1911 completely apart,
right,
to blue it, let's say, that you polish every single part.
Yeah. Well, every part.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. A lot of the internal parts you don't really want to polish, you know, because you want to keep them the size they need to be. But as far as the outside, you know, and I do blue all the internal parts in most cases, you know, because you ain't really got to polish them, just put them in the bluing tanks. That way you got a fresh bluing on them, right, you know, like they were when they were new. But yeah, you got to custom polish everything. You got to be careful not to knock the corners off, not to funnel out any holes. You know, it just takes a while. You might have anywhere from 2 to 8 hours in one gun. You know,
wow, just polishing.
Just polishing, yeah. And I like to do at least 10 guns before I blue. So that's kind of the reason why sometimes it takes a while to get it back to the customer, you know, and that's the purpose of these videos, to show everybody what actually right is involved.
So when you blue, let's say it's bluing day to day,
right,
there's about 10 of them that you're doing at one time.
Right, they'll be in that box we just showed you. And on bluing day, I actually move them out of the box into the bluing room on the racks, you know, and they'll be in the white. And of course I get the fire and everything all going real good, you know, and then we'll start, you know, the cleaning process and the 909, you know, and then of course everybody knows the routine where we put them in the bluing tanks. And
right.
Then it eventually goes back into the oil and then back up on that rack until the day I start assembling everything.
Well, see, I didn't even know any of that. I didn't know you had to polish it. I just thought you just cleaned it and...
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, on the Gunsmith series, there's one in there where I am polishing, and I think a couple of, you know, and kind of goes into more detail of the polishing, you know, so... And of course we do the Cerakoting as well, you know, things
right
like that, you know. Of course, any of that refinishing, nickel plating, or whatever you might be doing, you want to make the metal look good before you put whatever finish you're going to put on it. I like the paint job on a car, you know, the paint job's only going to look as good as the prep work.
Yeah, you got to make sure it's clean and no contaminants.
Exactly, yeah. Of course, you know, if there's a hole in the body of the car, you know, when you spray it up, no matter how nice it looks, that hole's still going to be there, you know, so.
That's true. So now we're in the woodworking room.
Yeah, this is the woodworking area, and a lot of these guns that come in, you know, they want the stock and forearm refinished on them as well. And a lot of times, you know, what I like to do, for instance, this right here is off an old Winchester pump 22 rifle, and it had a little chunk of wood taken out right here. I can either replace the wood, but in this case right here, and it's kind of built up right now, I'll sand that down like you would a Bondo in a car. I guess it's a good way to put that, and smooth it and taper it all in, you know. And then I'll sand all this right here off, and it'll, you know, basically look like it. That had a big chunk taken out right there, you know, so it's all tapered in. I can put the wood in it. It's a little more expensive to put wood in it, and usually, you know, you'll be able to kind of tell it anyway. And by the time you get the finish on this and everything, that right there will blend in pretty good. So
you'll never know it's not wood.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, you'll always probably be able to tell it, even if you replace it with new wood. I know we did a series, I think, while I was doing a Winchester Model 37, and it blended in really good, and I think we put wood in that one, if you remember. But this is another way too, you know, and that aqua glass one, it sets up, I mean, it's stronger than the wood, so, and that's basically what this room here is all about, you know. These are guns that are over there in the box, you know, that's ready to be blued. So now I'm just getting ready to sand the wood and put new finish on them, you know.
So that way when the bluing is done.
Right, that's what I like to do. I like to go ahead, you know, get the wood ready and get it in there in the finishing room. And what I usually do is I'll come in the morning, do any paperwork I need to do. This is for the guy who wants to be the gunsmith, you know, kind of help him organize. Come in the morning, do all the paperwork, whatever needs to be done, logged in, logged out, whatever. Next step is doing the wood. Most of the time the wood's finished and it's in there. And I will, I'm going to make a video on putting true oil on the wood too. That's another video that's coming up. But I'll put a coat of true oil on all my stocks and everything that are in there. We'll go in there in a minute and I'll kind of show you. And then after I get all that done, my next step is to polish at least one gun down. And then any time left over at the day is repair, where I do repair jobs. So I kind of try to stick with that routine, you know. If I ain't got no repair jobs, then I'll try to go ahead and polish another one, or at least get started on it. So.
Well, I see some blocks in the back there. Are those going to be stocks eventually?
Yeah, eventually they are. You know, and just, you know, pieces of wood, and some of these have been here for a while. If you just can't get a stock, I can make them, but it just takes a long time to do one, to be honest with you, you know. So if a person's not in no real big hurry, you know, I can make one.
And not to put you on the spot, but what kind of wood is that, do you know?
Black walnut.
Both of them?
Yeah, they're both black walnut. I got a building out there, and in the loft of the building, I've got big chunks of black walnut, you know, it's already been cut and everything. It's just curing out, you know.
Wow.
And I think we made a stock video at one time as well, you know, where I'm making it from start to finish, you know. So that's on the series too, the gunsmith.
Was that the one for the revolver?
No, that's the grip that we made.
I remember you did the hand grip for a revolver.
I also made one for a stock as well, you know, well, for a shotgun is what it was,
okay.
You know. And I showed it from start to finish, you know, where I took a block of wood, you know, and it's on the series here.
That's
you know.
right.
So, but, you know, just got different projects going on here. This one right here is about 200 years old, and everybody can see that it is in really rough shape. Now, I've done got it all glassed back together.
200
yeah,
years
now
old.
this one right here is a unique one here. The guy, he just wants to make this into a wall hanger. And I told him, I said, well, it probably wouldn't be advisable to try to shoot it. It was a double barrel. Here it is right here, black powder. And he said he didn't care anything about that. He'd just been seeing this thing in the closet ever since he was a kid, you know, and the guy's up in the years now. And, he said he just wants to make it look nice.
And it's got some engraving on it.
It does. And so what I'm going to do with this right here, it's like on the series we made where I'm putting the rifle stock together. I forget which one that was. But it's where I'm taking that old stock, you know, and in the end it turned out really nice. Well, it's just basically going to be the same principle. And I done got it, you know, pretty much glassed in. Still got some places. Granddad put these pieces of metal in here and all that, and he wants to leave all that in here. And of course I'm going to clean all that up, put the locks in it and everything, you know. And maybe we'll make a video when I get done with this. And everybody can remember what it looks like right now, and then we'll show them the after.
Yes,
you know? And
that'd be really cool.
Yeah, it just kind of shows, and here's all the parts for it, you know. And, you know, got a lot of metal and stuff in there that's just been in there, you know. Like I said, Grandpa, you know, used a bunch of metal there, you know, to make sure that it wouldn't break on him. That's for aqua glass, and so I'm gonna just make it at least look, you know, authentic and look good, and that way to keep it hung up, you know. And
wow,
like I said,
I can't wait to see that one.
A lot of customers, you know, they just got these little guns, they just been in the closet, and because of the memories that's tied to them, you know, and the family heirloom, they just want to make them look good, and you know, in honor of the person that had it, I guess, you know. So, of course, most of them, you know, work, and most of these guns work, and most people just want to fix them up, you know, in honor of Granddad, and use them actually. So, but yeah, a lot of projects going on, and of course, in here, you know, I've got some finished stocks. That right there is a finished one right there. You know, it's got a standard finish on it. I just put them in here and let them dry, you know, and they've done been sprayed. Here's some here, you know, and then I've got another. By the time all them stocks in there are finished, I'll have all these lined up, you know, and then I'll come in here and I'll take a set out and go in there, you know, and I'll buff them down with steel wool, and I'll hang them all up here, and then I'll start putting true oil on every one of them. And I'll do this for about 10 days.
Wow,
yeah,
10 days.
Yeah, and I'll either spray them or I'll either...
so how many coats of true oil do you put on
different
them?
Woods take different applications. Most generally it's about 10 coats.
10 coats?
Yep. Yeah, and I'm gonna we need to make a video on that too, you know, where you just take and put it on there, and I've seen videos where they'll be taking their finger, you know, and just rubbing it on there like that right there, and I'm thinking, man, it'd take forever to do it that way. So we're gonna make a video on
how to true oil,
how to put true oil on, and how to refinish a stock, or the way I've always done it, you know, and of course there's all kind of ways of doing it, you know. This just works best for me, you know. When I do so many of them, it seems like you can get it done and get a good job done, you know, in a fraction of the time, you know. So
all right,
that's an upcoming video.
All right, well, Scotty, thank you for answering all the questions and letting us take a look around. And what we might do is, from this video, have the customers comment below what questions they have, and then we'll take them and make a list and maybe do this again
Yeah.
in the future with their questions.
Yeah, well, that sounds like a plan. You know, like I said, with these videos here, you know, we just try to make them, you know, to where if somebody, you know, was trying to do their own project, you know, maybe they'll get something out of them, you know, or whatever, and then give us a call, you know, if they need us to do it. Well, you know, they got the number there, so.
All right, and if anybody needs something from you, where's your card at?
Right there.
Right there. Okay. If you need anything, there you go. Let me zoom that in, make sure it's in focus. There we go.
And we got plenty of videos on that website there, on that card
Yep.
there, you know, people can go to and, you know, might help them out on any of their projects they're doing, so.
Well, all right. Well, thank you very much, Scotty, for your time.
Well, it was my pleasure. I appreciate you letting me make these videos for you.